We are anonymous. We are not a club. We are not a party. We are not an institution. We are a group of voices that rise when truth is oppressed, when the masses are fed lies, when the powerful plot to cover up accountability. Today we lay bare again how Donald Trump and his obedient propaganda apparatus are doing all they can to deflect, distract, and cover up his scandalous connections to Jeffrey Epstein. This is no small tale. This is no fleeting rumor. This is a continuous operation of dishonesty that stretches across corridors of power, across media empires, and across a movement created to shield not just Trump himself, but the cliques of predators, financiers, and political elites connected to Epstein's orbit. For months, MAGA media have promoted a standard falsehood. Trump was remote from Epstein, hardly knew him, disowned him, and never participated in anything improper. Sean Hannity boasted openly that he never mentions Epstein on his show. That silence is intentional. Silence is cover. One host was brave enough to speak the truth, brave enough to say the obvious regarding Trump's signature on Epstein-related papers, and that host's show no longer exists. This is how censorship works, not only by governmental authority, but by corporate circles, eager to suppress any voice of objection that could shatter the facade. But before tracing the downfall of that Fox host, let us investigate the lie behind the feeble. The MAGA story was upended when a memo surfaced. A picture of Jeffrey Epstein, a longtime Mar-a-Lago associate, laughing with another about selling a completely depreciated woman to Donald Trump.
Epstein and a longtime Mar-a-Lago member joking about selling a fully depreciated woman to Donald Trump for $22,000 and $22,500. Can you explain what is being alleged here in this picture?
The birthday just makes him look like a creep, but this. It's joking about selling a woman. When and why is that ever funny? And why is it that they would say that he would be one that would be buying a woman? It's really a sad day in this country that this is the guy that is leading our nation. I mean, we used to care about the morality of a leader, but when you're looking at this and you're looking at his actions overall, it doesn't seem like he has a moral compass.
A misogynistic joke of grotesque proportions, one steeped in dehumanizing and normalization language of trafficking. This was met by Representative Jasmine Crockett. She questioned what should have been known. How can any leader in this nation believe that language like that is somehow tolerable? To label a woman as a devalued asset, to value her as one would an object on a balance sheet, and to propose Trump as the purchaser. This is not comedy. This is depravity. The birthday joke was bad enough, but the new evidence cut even deeper because it contained language of a quick learner, implying youth, implying exploitation of someone too young to be reduced to those terms. Crockett was correct. It shows a man devoid of a moral compass, a leader with no honesty, and a movement justifying the inexcusable. America used to demand morality from leaders. Now with Trump, immorality is normalized. Trump's panic is not only about him. He knows that pulling the Epstein thread unravels an entire network. That is why the Department of Justice has struggled to keep secret the names of Epstein associates, two individuals who were paid $100,000 and $250,000 respectively. What service did they render? What silence did they buy? Trump is concerned that subpoenas extend so far the whole circle of enablers will be revealed. He's not just protecting his own reputation, he is protecting others who would go down with him. We saw this dynamic when Congress subpoenaed Epstein's birthday book. The secrets terrified Trump's circle, because although a DOJ can delay, although MAGA media can deceive, subpoenas cut through executive cover. The truth once opened is uncontainable, which is why Carolyn Leavitt, one of Trump's most ardent supporters, was quick to dismiss the evidence, ludicrously alleging that Trump's signature was forged.
One of the other documents released by the House Oversight Committee contained a photo of Jeffrey Epstein holding an oversized check that was made out to him in the check from the president for $22,000 for a fully depreciated woman. I wondered if the president has any recollection of that, or what you guys make of that photo that was included in those documents.
Did you see the signature on that check? It is not Donald Trump's signature. It is absolutely not. The president did not sign that check.
But the world caught sight of Trump's unique signature, the black marker thick and bold roll across executive orders, across authoritarian mandates, across history itself, saying no. Insults, plain common sense. Fox News, marching in unison, simplified excuses. They said the check was a forgery. They accused AI creation. They accused fabrication. But then a panel went rogue. Conservative journalist Sarah Bedford said it was possible, indeed obvious, that the signature was Trump's. She asked why the White House would invest so much effort in denying something that obviously appeared to be real. Another Fox Business journalist conceded Trump signed so many things he might not even recall, but the signature appeared to be real nonetheless. And then Fox News host Howard Kurtz spoke the terrifying truth. The denial did not compute. Trump and his press secretary were posing the question to Americans, who are you going to believe, us or your lying eyes? That moment of truth cost Kurtz his show. The network declared his Sunday time slot gone, replaced instead with pro-MAGA programming. Not accident, punishment. It is the message no one at Fox will be permitted to tell the truth about Trump and Epstein. It is part of a larger trend. Trump intimidates into silence any media source that reveals his friends. Charlie Kirk, for instance, is sanitized by MAGA disinformation as a leader on civil rights, a defender of free speech. The truth is different. Kirk applauded political violence. Excused, I say, kidnapping immigrants from the streets and never speaking up for the vanished Trump regime critics. Kirk embodies not freedom but authoritarianism in the guise of patriotism. The hypocrisy is evident. White men are oppressed and MAGA yells tyranny. Immigrants or people of color are kidnapped or assaulted, and they label it safety. That double standard reveals the racial root of the movement. Jasmine Crockett pointed out the authoritarian threat of Trump's mindset, constructing an unaccountable police state, acting beyond law and supervision.
Right? That's where I'm trying to figure out how can people who like Donald Trump or don't like Donald Trump understand that he seems to be building a police force that is not subject to the normal rules that either policing or military should be subject to. It's sort of a police force that's lacking accountability.
No, there is no accountability, and it's going after its American people, right? Like, the idea that any of us want to be unsafe in this country is absolutely absurd, right? I don't care what your political affiliation is. I don't care what your cultural background is. None of us want to be unsafe. Yep. But we're not looking at the facts. We're not looking at the fact that immigrants, regardless of how many times you're going to cherry pick and say, well, there was this one immigrant that was here illegally and they ended up killing this one person. Well, for every immigrant that you have an example of, I'll raise you at least 2 to 5 white supremacists, if not more, right? You are not fixing anything. You are making things worse because you have no idea what you're doing.
She outlined the abuse of ICE, the neglect of poverty reduction, health care, and education. Trump does not address crime. He doubles poverty, robs health care, and adds desperation. His policies are not about safety. They are about control. They are about instilling fear and exercising power over the vulnerable. This is the police state. Trump wants a system where critics get silenced, minorities get targeted, and political violence becomes normalized. He has signaled repeatedly this vision, including by posting things, calling for laws to hold the media accountable for lying. But when media lies were established in court, it was Fox News, not freelance journalists, that paid hundreds of millions in defamation settlements. Trump himself has never successfully sued media outlets in equitable trials. His tactic is intimidation, draining outlets with legal fees, coercing settlements, never establishing real defamation. This isn't the defense of free speech. It's the weaponization of power against its detractors, and thus we circle back to the pattern: cover up Epstein, punish truth-tellers, threaten media, rewrite history. From Mar-a-Lago to Manhattan courthouses, from Fox Studios to the DOJ, all levers are pulled to stifle reality. But stifling only provokes suspicion. Every denial makes the appearance of guilt greater. And the louder Trump yells fake, the brighter the evidence shines. We must also remember the larger Epstein background in 2008. Epstein arranged a sweetheart plea agreement in Florida, dodging federal charges despite overwhelming proof. Who made that agreement? Then U.S. Attorney Alexander Aosta, later Trump's labor secretary. Aosta stepped down when the agreement was revealed. Trump publicly separated himself, asserting he barely knew Epstein despite photos, party attendances, and witness accounts. In 2019, Epstein was again arrested. Weeks later, he was discovered dead in his cell under mysterious circumstances. Cameras malfunctioned, guards slept. The narrative was muffled. Conveniently, Epstein never testified fully. Conveniently, names in his circle were kept under wraps. Same pattern repeats once again. Secrecy, silence, cover-up. Whether by way of suicide within a high-security jail or erasure of critical voices on TV, result is the same. Truth gets buried. But burial is denied to Anonymous. Anonymous exhumes truth. Trump's allies say none of this makes a difference, that voters do not care, that morality does not matter, but morality does matter because law without morality is tyranny. A morally compassless leader leads only into darkness, and Trump's darkness is that of all who defend him, of all who rationalize Epstein, of all who assault immigrants, while rationalizing white supremacists. We are anonymous. We do not forget. We do not forgive. Donald Trump's Epstein scandal will not go away. His media supporters cannot make it go away. His government apologists cannot bury it. The truth is already out, and it will only continue to spread.